Hey everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and Happy New Year. This is the first of my weekly blog series in 2021, so thanks for tuning in. So yeah, hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to watch my new weekly update vlog. Not too sure how it's going to work out, but firstly, Happy New Year to everybody. Really great to have been able to down tools over the last week or so. Really have some catch-up time, chill time with the family over the Christmas and New Year period. Really hope all you guys have had equally as much opportunity to down tools and really just recharge for the new year, I guess. Obviously, it goes without saying we've not had exactly the best of years with 2020. Hopefully now we've moved into 2021, things will start looking a little bit more optimistic across the board. And with that, I thought about where am I going with, what am I doing in terms of community work, putting back my learning activities and my tinkering activities and as well as my day job. And I thought I'd take the plunge really and kick off with see how far I can go with a weekly vlog. So this is the first one of hopefully every Friday I'll be creating a 5-10 minute sort of vlog entry. It's going to be obviously cloud computing based, so starting off fundamentally talking about Azure. Who knows if I branch off into other clouds, maybe not, we'll see how that goes. But predominantly this is going to be an Azure focused vlog, with a little bit of myself thrown in on the side, because for those of you that have been following me, you can see that over the last sort of 6 months or so, I've been kind of on a little bit of a journey where I've kind of got up to date with my own learnings that maybe I've neglected slightly over the last couple of years, just been too focused on my day job and not really looking for the long-term picture. So for those of you that have been following me on Twitter and my blog, you will have seen that I've covered quite a diverse range of subjects in Azure and obviously got some certification to back that up now. So, I mean, on that note, I think I just wanted to show you guys where I was going. So for those of you that did catch my final 100 days of cloud post that actually landed on Christmas Day for what it's worth. I just wanted to recap really on what 2020 has really given me the opportunity to do, and primarily the last sort of 5 or 6 months of 2020, which is where I've been focusing a lot on my sort of external work and my community work and things like that. So just a quick recap. So I've managed to get over 120 posts now. Those posts to me, they are really just sort of in line with the 100 Days of Cloud Challenge that I've been working on. There's a few how-to posts in there and exam prep posts if you sift back through my blog. But fundamentally, that's really been about me keeping on top of what have I been learning for the last sort of 100 days. So with that, there's been, a considerable number of posts. It's been quite a difficult task to keep on top of, if I'm being honest. It's been quite full on. There's been a lot of learnings. A lot to consume and a lot to take in, and there's still lots more that I haven't taken in that I need to. But I'm quite pleased that I've been able to really get back into that routine of creating blog posts, because it's sometimes a difficult thing. Where do you start with the blog? What do you write about? And I still get that on a daily basis. Do I do a series? Do I look at something in particular? And so I think for me it's more of a let's just see how we go. Let's see what we're looking at that particular moment in time, and move it forward from there. But obviously, since my 100 Days of Cloud journey is finished, I'm not intending on putting a blog post out every day, because that was a little bit full on. But I think, that was a great sort of full on re-entry into sort of putting my thoughts onto paper and publishing them onto a blog. YouTube, I've managed to create around 12 videos over the last 5 or 6 months. Really happy to have broken that 100 subscribers barrier. Not that it's really anything meaningful for me at the moment. Really, it's for me doing those videos is about learning the process, learning how to talk to a camera, learning how to record and edit things and put it back up online and see where we go. The Welsh Azure user group has been fantastic experience, and I can't stress enough how brilliant it is to be working with those guys. To form the Welsh Azure user group. We've got our next meet coming up on Jan the 21st, so please do jump onto the meetup and RSVP for that. Really excited to have you there for that one. I've managed to speak on a few live events and recorded events online, which has been great. I've got links to those in my blog and on Twitter if you want to see those. managed to speak about a couple of different topics, and that's definitely something I'm looking to try and expand over the next year. Certification. Now, to be honest, I never really intended to, when I started off the year, to do quite so many certifications, but it just kind of has worked out that way. So when I started the 100 Days of Cloud Challenge, I was really looking at the whole DevOps, because within my working environment, there's been a lot of talk over the last year, 18 months about DevOps. We've dipped our toes in. We started playing with various bits and pieces, the whole culture change, the whole way of working. So when it came to Azure, obviously Azure DevOps being a tangible technology, I thought, well, that would be a good place to start. So ramped up on the DevOps reading. And again, I recently read the Phoenix Project, which made me laugh. There was some real recognizable scenarios and situations that I think I've lived firsthand through. So with that, I kind of thought, well, I'll cover off the certification path, and I was lucky to kick that off with passing the AZ400 exam. I quickly kind of turned to updating. I never actually did pass the Azure Administrator exam. I did the Azure Expert Architect level exams. I did the fundamentals, but for some reason I just never got round to ever sitting any of the AZ 100, 101, 2, 3, or 4. So I thought, well, okay, let's just fill that little gap there. So I managed to, after a bit of swatting, bit of MS Learn, to fill the gaps that I haven't been working on a day-to-day basis, managed to kick that one off. And from there, it was a kind of, well, okay, I know I want to go onto the developer side. And I did a couple of the 900, the fundamentals courses, so the data, the AI, and the Power Platform, which, mount up at the end of the day, and they take quite a lot of effort to get to that stage and retain that knowledge as you learn it. Managed to get through my audio codes ACA, which, for those who don't know, is SBC configuration for voice services. That was good fun. I think I last did that probably about 7 years ago or so now. And I also managed to get myself onto 3 open hacks, which, if you get the chance to do an open hack, I absolutely recommend it. They're absolutely brilliant way of learning, especially now in this kind of virtual way. I did the enterprise scale, managed the DevOps and the containers. For me, the containers open hack was by far the most tricky. If you've not come across open hacks before, look them up. They're a Microsoft run event, and they get carried out across the globe, and they're at different times of the year. But yeah, if you get the opportunity, get involved with the open hacks, because they're absolutely brilliant. Twitch. So yeah, a couple of months ago, I had the idea that I would do a little bit of live streaming, and I still got that idea, and I think I will. I think I've just got to get that format right and the time. But I've managed, it's just in a little of live stream that I have done, which hasn't been a massive amount. I've managed to go from 0 to 20 followers, which is great. It's a great fun platform, to be honest, Twitch, for live streaming. So I'm really trying to find a way to, in my spare time, when I'm doing a little bit of tinkering, again, for those of you that have been following me, I got the robot arm thing that I'm doing. There's a few other bits and pieces. I got my IoT sensors and stuff like that. I'm really hopeful that I can kind of put a few meaningful things together and kind of hook them into a lot of the Azure services. So maybe I can use those live streams as a little bit of a play around sandpit area. But we'll see how we go. Again, same thing with TikTok, to be honest. Me and a few of my colleagues had a little bit of a joke around, well, actually it's probably a couple of years ago now, where we were joking with the name TikTok and the top 10 top tips. So I took it upon myself to create the account and just see if we can use some of this social platform really to hook into, sort of spreading the word of Azure and really just a little bit of fun more than anything. Really privileged, and the mapper, so the practicing architecture. So Microsoft Azure practicing architect. I've been listed as an Azure champ, and that's off the back of completing a number of these exams. So I think it was the AZ104, the 204, as well as the architect level exams. If you go onto the mapper, I think it's the-mapper.com. You can get yourself listed in there if you've got those exams, and you can be listed as an Azure champ. It seems like a little bit of an area that seems, I don't know if it's been utilized very, very much, or if anybody else has heard it. Go and check it out, or drop me a comment. But great to be part of that setup. yeah, and some great things have happened in my day job as well over the last five or 6 months. So it is time to set new goals. And I think, like I said before, the level of posts a day was quite full on. I think really what I'm looking at here now is really I'm going to try and commit to creating at least 2 pieces of YouTube content each month. So whether that be a weekly vlog update like this, just to talk through what's going on in the world of Azure and within my own personal life for those of you that may be interested, as well as maybe teaming up with a few colleagues and doing and some other great community members at that as well, and maybe doing some collaboration work or some interviews. So I've got a number of different ideas around that hopefully I should be able to hit that metric of, I think 2 pieces of YouTube content, and I want to try and make them as good quality as possible. And by quality, I mean, some good content in there that is actually meaningful. I'm going to aim to get to 321, so I think that's reasonable to kind of aim for. I've hit the 100 subscribers within a year, so only 21 because it's 2021. So if I can get to 321 subscribers by the end of 2021, that'll be my little push to get there. And the same with my Twitter. I think I'm at roughly around about just shy of the 1,500 Twitter followers. So if I can push that just over the 2,000, that will be brilliant. And the other thing that I was going to commit to is to try and commit now to doing at least 1 decent sized blog post on an Azure topic each month. Obviously, they're the baseline. So if I can do over and above that'll be brilliant. Few other things I'm looking to achieve through the year, like I just mentioned, I'm really interested and keen to kind of set up a regular stream on Twitch. If anybody's got any ideas, then throw them out there, because I'm quite happy for that to be collaboration work, individual sort of tinkering activity. But I think the key with Twitch is to kind of be a little bit regular with it. And I think, to be honest, up to now, it's kind of trying to fit in with family life and work and the learning. So like I say, now I've kind of finished that 100 days of cloud challenge. I think that kind of opens up the door for me now to focus on things a little bit more like the Twitch and the live stream. I really want to get finished off with, so yeah, since I've been doing a bit of Terraform for the last year or so anyway, but I really just wanted to get the exams ticked off. Not really got round to it to do that just yet. And Python. So, for those of you again that have been following me, I'm not a dev. I did a bit of dev work probably about 8, 9, maybe even 10 years ago now. At the time, it was all .NET, ASP.NET, and VB.NET. And I thought, well, in this day and age now, obviously as an ops guy, I've got relatively decent PowerShell skills. Done a bit of Bash, but not a massive amount. I thought, well, what is the best language to learn now? So hunting around, it's a bit like, okay, Python seems to be quite a bit of a utilitarian kind of language to learn. So bought myself a nice big Python book, and I've been working my way through that slowly. So like I say, if you've got the groundings of a programming language, I think when I did my original degree studies, I went through Smalltalk as an object-oriented language, and also did a bit of C++ in there, and a tiny bit of C# as well. And like I say, I moved into kind of doing the whole ASP.NET and VB.NET back, like I say, 10 years ago. So for me, upping my dev skills is quite a key thing that I want to do over the next year, because personally, the way that things are going on the ops side and with my personal job, things are becoming a lot more automated, obviously with DevOps and infrastructure as code and things like that. So although I may not have to do that myself on a day-to-day basis, I'm one of those people that likes to know how to do that on a day-to-day basis. So, I can speak meaningfully with my customers about it. So like I say, that's been really great over the last, sort of the focus over the last 6 months has been great. But I think moving forward now, from a programming perspective, I'd like to pick those back up as soon as I can. IoT has been a really big thing that for whatever reason, no other reason other than my own interest, I think, I've been quite keen to kind of pick up and work towards studying for the AZ220, the Azure IoT exam. And the last thing I'd like to do, if I possibly can, is to aim to talk at least 6 events. So I don't think I'm pushing it too much, but event every couple of months by the end of the year. I'm hopeful that that's kind of a bit reachable. It's not too over the top, and it's attainable. But on that note, yeah, thanks for watching so far, guys. And I think in the spirit of what this video was intended for, we'll give a little bit of an Azure update. So we've had one new Azure announcement on the 1st of January 2021, and that is the Application Consistent Snapshot tool, the neatly named AZAC Snap Application Consistent Snapshot tool for Azure NetApp Files has gone into public preview. So it looks to be quite an interesting tool, actually, just giving it a quick read, but it's really about being able to kind of provide application consistent data protection, backing up the database catalog and managing that kind of on a whim, and ad hoc volume protection. There's cloning of the storage volumes and, support for any kind of disaster recovery environments and scenarios. So that's in public preview. So if that's of use to you and you are currently using Azure NetApp Files, then obviously look into that. And on that note, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. I've not got anything else to say for now, and I think just looking at the clock there, yeah, I've hit about 15, 16 minutes or so. Want to try and make these videos a little bit shorter, a little bit snappier if I can in the future. But for now, I'm John Lund. Thanks very much for tuning in, and yeah, no doubt we will see you next week.